Little Red Riding Hood. There was once a little girl who wore a bright red coat. She was called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother sent her to visit her grandmother who lived on the other side of the wood. As she was leaving, her mother told her, "Walk quickly and don't talk to strangers." Outside, it was a beautiful day. Perfect weather for a gentle walk through the wood, thought Little Red Riding Hood as she strolled along the forest path. Soon Little Red Riding Hood came across Mr. Wolf, who was waiting by the edge of the path. She had forgotten her mother's advice, so when he asked her where she was going, she told him, "I'm going to see my grandmother." Then Little Red Riding Hood remembered that her mother had told her not to speak to strangers, and she quickly ran off. The Little Red Riding Hood carried on through the wood. She soon forgot her mother's advice again and stopped to pick some pretty flowers for her grandmother. It was quite late by the time she arrived at the house. While Little Red Riding Hood had been picking flowers, Mr. Wolf ran to the grandmother's house and ate her all up. Then he dressed up in her nightdress and sat in her bed. Little Red Riding Hood did not know that her grandmother was Mr. Wolf in disguise, but she did think that her grandmother looked different. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she said. "All the better to see you with, my dear," whispered Mr. Wolf, trying to sound like grandmother. "And what big ears you have!" she said. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," replied Mr. Wolf with a smile. When Mr. Wolf smiled at Little Red Riding Hood, she knew there was something wrong. "But what big teeth you have!" she cried. "All the better to eat you with," he shouted, jumping out of the bed. He chased Little Red Riding Hood out into the wood. Luckily, a friendly woodcutter who was out chopping trees came to her rescue. He made Mr. Wolf spit out poor grandmother and took Little Red Riding Hood home. Little Red Riding Hood promised her mother and grandmother to always walk quickly through the wood and never, ever, ever speak to strangers ever again.